Welcome back to one's journey of unwinding the mind and, of course, your daily microdose. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out at all on your daily microdose. Now, tune in to the latest episode of One's Journey. My favorite quote by Ram Dass is, "We're all just walking each other home," and I truly believe that, and this is a direct representation of that. Today, I really want to talk about walking sticks versus crutches. I came up with the interpretation of a walking stick not that long ago when working with a client, and then we molded it into, then we've got crutches. Imagine you are trying to climb a mountain or a hill, and you're determined to get to the top, and you find a random stick along the way, and it helps you, it assists you, but then it breaks. And you're like, oh crap, but you keep going up the hill because you are going to climb that hill, whether you have that walking stick or not. Having the walking stick is great. It helps you out. It makes it a little easier, a little more comfortable, but that's not going to determine whether you get there, whether you get to the top of the hill or to the other side of the hill. You are not placing your success, your happiness, your whatever you are seeking on the other side of the hill into that walking stick. Now, then we have crutches. When I think of a crutch, I think of Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim was a part of a holiday movie. It was this kid who always had this little crutch. But anyway, a crutch is something we are seeking our completion, our happiness, whatever it is we're searching for in. For example, if we go back to, we're climbing a hill, climbing a mountain, and we want to get to the other side because on the other side lies the Holy Grail, right? But we're not going to do it unless we find a walking stick, unless we find a crutch. So we finally find one, and we start to climb the hill or the mountain, and then it breaks. So what do? We stop climbing because we can only foresee us making it to the other side if we have that crutch. It no longer was a walking stick, but it was a crutch, something dependent on us getting something. In reality, a crutch is when you seek salvation in something outside of you. A walking stick is when you know who has the power, where the power is, where the answers are is within, but maybe along the way you have a little help from your friends. I'm going to talk about different crutches we tend to lean on today that actually could just be used as damn walking sticks. Because when we use something as a crutch instead of a walking stick, we get really fucking disappointed. It's like, what's the statement? Assumptions make an ass out of you and an ass out of me. Well, if we assume that this thing is going to provide us our peace and happiness or create it or whatever it may be, and it doesn't, well, we just made an ass out of ourselves in it, right? A lot of disappointment and separation, which the ego loves. That's what it wants us to experience, is separation and death. Of course, it provides us with shiny objects galore that can all be used as crutches. But when we start to understand how this illusion operates and that we have two belief systems we can choose from, the Holy Spirit or the ego, we realize that this is an illusion, and that in fact, nothing within the illusion contains our happiness or peace. It is all within us, within the mind, but there's a lot of walking sticks in this illusion that we can use to help us get there. For example, walking sticks. Walking sticks could be, getting a massage, eating healthy, A Course in Miracles, the Bible. Those are all walking sticks. They do not contain your salvation within them. They contain symbols that you can interpret within the mind and find happiness and peace. But they themselves are not dependent on your peace or happiness. Energy healing, that is a very big crutch right now. People believe that they cannot move forward unless their energy has been healed or cleared. That is a crutch. Yoga, different routines. Routine is a really big thing here. We often begin to try to seek salvation in our routines because we feel, okay, for example, let's say you have a really strict morning routine and you don't do it one day. Is your day shit usually the rest of the day? That's often the common answer. But the problem is, the reason why that happened is we began to seek salvation within that morning routine. If we did not have that specific morning routine a specific way, then our day was going to be shit. We needed it that way. That is another reason why we are creatures of habit and creatures of routine, because it is another way in which the ego belief system is able to keep us in a state of smoke and mirrors, distraction, right? Distraction from where the true salvation lies, which is within, which is out of this illusion, which is not of this illusion. It cannot be found in this illusion. It can only be sought outside this illusion. But within this illusion, we can use walking sticks. Do I believe that energy healing works? Yeah, 100%, because energy is a reality of the illusion. Is energy healing something that's fun to do for me? Yeah, for sure. Is it something I depend on in order for me to get out of this illusion? Absolutely not. Because first of all, it is of the illusion, therefore it cannot get me out of the illusion. Only what is within my mind, and not my brain, the mind, can I begin to change my belief system and make choices from the belief system of the Holy Spirit or my highest self instead of the ego. And that is how I get out of this illusion. That is how things start to unfold for the betterment of all. And all is one. So one, yeah, it is super easy to begin to seek our salvation in things, but it's super easy to begin to seek our salvation in others as well. I will do a whole episode on this, but oftentimes relationships are what they call special relationships in A Course in Miracles, but essentially we are seeking our salvation within them. And when I say salvation, I mean our happiness, our peace, our everything within that person. But the reality is it can never be found within that person. It can only be found within ourselves, but we can find it through them, through practicing forgiveness with them, because essentially we're forgiving ourselves. But they are not going to make us anything. We're responsible for that. Just like all these walking sticks, if you turn them into a crutch, you're expecting them to make you be a certain way. When in reality, they can't. It's a short dopamine hit instead of long-term sustainable change. Next time you find yourself beginning to get in a relationship that it has patterns and you start to feel wait if it gets canceled or changed or looks different than it was the day before, and ask yourself, have I turned this walking stick into a crutch? Am I seeking my salvation in this person, place, or thing? And check yourself before you wreck yourself. Back it up and figure out how to turn it back into the walking stick it actually is, and quit seeing it for something it literally never can be. You're setting yourself and it up for failure. I hope today's conversation was beneficial for you. I know for me it's super beneficial because often routine is super easy to start seeking salvation. And even recording these videos, having a routine beforehand, what day it is, how it looks like, easily I can begin to pin the success of these videos on if the day leading up to it went perfectly as planned. The day that starts is the day I know I need to change the day to record these videos. I need to change the things that occur ahead of time because, again, I am seeking some sort of outcome in something that has no control over that because it's an illusion. And a projection of my own mind. If I start to place responsibility on something that is actually a projection of my mind, it's not going to work because you got to go back to the source, the cause, not the effect. The cause is the mind. Okay, I'm done yelling at you guys today. No, I apologize. It may seem like I'm yelling, but I'm very passionate about this, and I love sharing my view of everything, but most of all, I love hearing your outlook on these different topics we bring up in the videos, and that's why I love the Discord. So please share. Is most important for us walking each other home is to equally share and respond and bring feedback and just be respectful in the process. But as always, until next time, remember you are worth it, and I love you tons. Goodbye.